Namaste. This is the second part of my video series, Letting Go on YouTube. And this is Aisha. Well, today I wanted to bring out, as in like expand a little bit on what I said in the last video, which was of letting go and accepting change as you evolve from a seed to a tree. Because evolution requires change. It's inevitable. It's the only thing that is constant and constantly evolving, whether you refer to a seed or the entire universe. We're always evolving. But how often do we actually accept change? Are we that liberal mentally to accept change? It's one of the most common obstacles or challenges, whichever way you may perceive it, that most of us face. It's not very easy to accept change, and in the process of not accepting change, we tend to grieve over living experiences. A lot of us grieve over living experiences. We miss things, we miss people. And I'm not referring to death at all. I'm referring to the demise of existing situations which had to progress, which had to move forward, which had to change for you to experience life. And this is more common. This is more obvious in toxic relationships where first impressions fade with time and we cling on to that first impression in the hope that somewhere along the way, the change that has happened and probably ended up revealing the toxic aspect of the person, we just hope that that will change somehow if we keep clinging on to the first impression. But however, the first impression is where it is. We leave it as that. It's like the honeymoon phase. You fall in love with a person and you think that the person's going to remain the same when you yourself would have evolved and changed into a person who is maybe much wiser, maybe less patient. Everyone changes, the personality changes. That's the beauty of evolution. You see, you are given a free will to decide wherever you want to go. Now, the same liberty is given obviously to everyone, and especially to people who have just wanted to make the first impression to, bring you into their lives. And when you have been in their lives for some time, they tend to evolve or reveal their true colors, so to speak, and you end up grieving over the first impression. Now, the same thing can happen to a situation, a place. Like if you're working in some place and you don't want to get out of the comfort zone, because getting out of the comfort zone or quitting the job would mean that you may have to look for a new job or get out of your comfort zone and think of better ways of making a living. So you grieve over what was there. A lot of us do that. A lot of us tend to grieve over what was there in life. Now, this basically does nothing more than leave you in a stagnant situation where you cannot progress forward because you're mentally still living in the past. So the fear of change, the fear of letting go of the past is something that a lot of us consciously or subconsciously contain within us. We wish that relationship worked. We wish that job didn't have to, you didn't have to quit, or you were not fired. You wish this didn't happen and you wish that didn't happen. A lot of things we keep going backwards instead of, we stay. It's like, you press a pause button and you stay there instead of moving forward. Now, this letting go is so crucial to each and every one of us because we need to be able to move forward. All of us are moving forward. Time is moving forward. But if you're mentally still staying in the same in the same place, because you refuse to let go of situations, people, places, experiences, it becomes something that will accumulate over time. And this accumulation is what will lead to anxiety and depression and all kinds of mental imbalances. This is what happens when you do not let go. To fear change, to fear experiences, new experiences, to fear what we might otherwise call as, the unknown. I don't know what would happen if I leave this relationship. How will I manage if I leave this relationship? How will I leave this job? How will I walk out of this new place? How will I stop a particular habit? This also applies to addictions, for instance. If you feel that a particular addiction numbs you from having to deal with any kind of negative experience in your life, or forget something, it will never be the solution, because all it does is offer some kind of chemical reaction in your body and your mind that will numb the experience or the memory for only a short duration before it returns. And after a point of time, no addiction can ever contain its stimuli forever. You will have to deal with the situation at some point or the other. So that again is something that people, who are addicted, they have a trouble of letting go of the addiction, and after a point of time, the effects of the addiction takes over, unless you make some solid moves towards letting go of that. So you see, fear is a great barrier for a lot of us. We are afraid of change. We're afraid of letting go because we think that we will not be able to get something better. We will not be able to find solutions. But when you change the perception and understand that change is therefore necessary for you to progress, for you to evolve, for you to get better answers to what you're going through, to bring in better people in your life, to bring in a better job, to bring in a better situation, to find solutions to whatever has been bothering you, trauma, whether it's from childhood or present. You need to accept change. You need to go with the flow. I don't know if you are familiar with the song Candle in the Wind, but it is such a beautiful phrase, because that is exactly how nature perceives change. Nature perceives seasons. Nature perceives time. It bends to time. And when you flow to the currents of nature and evolution, you will find that the free-flowing energy would bring you somewhere from one point to the other. Somehow or the other, that change happens. Somehow or the other, you find a solution. Somehow or the other, you will be able to move on from wherever you were afraid of letting go. So the living experience does not end or get stuck or just keep rotating itself in one toxic pattern. There is a reason why we experience each and everything, whether it be a relationship, an addiction, a place that is very difficult to deal with, anything. We experience it for a reason, because there is bound to be a solution. Once your perception accepts this, it will be so much easier for you to accept change. It will be so much easier for you to also let go. Because grieving the living, the past, is not going to take you forward. It will never take you forward. Living for the present, living for the future is what's going to help you. I hope this helped you, and I send you all my blessings and love. Namaste.